Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you tankers, and welcome to the festive installment of Community Mercenary Tank. I'm going to presume we all know how this works by now, but just in case you're new here, then click the card in the top right and check out the playlist of other Community Mercenary videos. But for now, let's get into some holiday themed tanks. We'll start with one of Santa's little helpers, an elf-themed tank. All of these tanks, by the way, come from, once again, Scray. I mentioned the idea of Christmas-themed tanks for this video, and threw out some ideas, which all of them were created and are in today's video. But the elf we decided would be small, and Scray chose the Tier 1 Swedish tank, as it looked like an elf's shoe in their eyes, which was just a fantastic idea. Followed up with the stock turret of the Duck, or AMX-30 as it is called in game, and the stock gun of the German Tier 4 tank destroyer, the Marder 38T. This makes it quite a powerful tank, either at Tier 3 or 4, with maybe an up-armored chassis. Either way, I think the combination of parts and the additions they made to their own mock-up are great. Since it's a low tier, despite having a pretty stalwart turret and hopefully an up-armored Tier 1 hull, it would probably be classified as a light tank, as most tanks down there are. As for its potency, since it's a tank destroyer's gun, it would do pretty well against most well-armored pub-stomping tanks in the low tiers, but I don't think it would become a pub stomper itself, which is only a good thing. A tank that can punish pub stompers and not become one, helping out the low tiers, just like how elves help Santa. Fitting. Following the elf tank, we have another tank that helps Santa, but this time not with toy making, but with toy delivery. The Reindeer. We have a sleigh skin for the T28 HTC in the game, and with this tank we would have the Reindeer to pull it. We wanted a pointy hull and turret for that pointed nose look on the turret and the speed needed to be a reindeer. The new Christmas tank, the T3 Convert, felt like the perfect chassis to me, and Scray found a great turret to put on that, the AMX-12T. Combined, they just look like a reindeer to me, as much like a reindeer as a tank could get. The gun choice is yet another tank destroyer's gun, the stock gun of the IKV-65-2, a 240 Alpha gun, which, as Scray puts it, getting kicked by a reindeer hurts, and when you frame it that way, a tank destroyer gun makes sense. This one would probably be a Tier 6, as it would be a light tank, and having a Tier 3 tank hull doesn't really make a difference in terms of light tank armor. A Tier 6 hull would have no armor either, so it would be sort of a fast glass cannon. Interestingly, because of the turret choice, I'm tempted to turn it into an autoloader, but who knows how powerful a 240 Alpha autoloader at Tier 6 would be. My guess would be that it would be quite strong, but just imagine 8 of these things pulling along a T20 HTC. I wonder if they would even be able to do it. Either way, I'm very pleased with the look of the Reindeer, and as usual, Scray did a great job picking the right parts for it. Last up, we have a Krampus tank. Now we have a Krampus skin for the mouse, but this is a whole tank in the idea of Krampus, and I had no idea how it would turn out. But Scray picked out a very scary combination of parts. It's made up of a chassis of the Indenpanzer, the turret of the recently introduced Tornvon, and the gun of the Skoda T56. Now the gun alone is quite scary, in either the single shot or autoloader variants of this gun. It's got 460 Alpha and good DPM. It's a good gun on the tank it's native to, but slapping this gun on the Tornvon turret and making it an impenetrable hull-down tank just makes me scared. This tank would definitely be one that everyone would have to get. Yeah, the chassis isn't the toughest, but that's not the identity this tank would take. It would be a ridgeline hull-down beast, so having a weak chassis is good for balance reasons. I still think it would be a stupidly strong tank, but I think it still fits the idea for a Krampus tank. A chaotic being that's not there to give you presents, but instead straight up send you back to the garage. Obviously too it would be a tier 8, as all its parts are, but man would I still be afraid of it in my tier 10s. Before we go, I have to show you Scray's versions of these tanks, as they add way more than I did to the designs, and are just superbly done. But along with these versions of the tanks, we have a bonus tank to show you. Scray thought to make sort of a toy tank, and here it is. Called the Delinquent, it is inspired by this image of a tank ornament. Keep up the good work, Scray, and I'll keep trying to keep up. But that's it for this edition of Community Mercenary Tanks. If you want to see any ideas of your own created and showcased in these videos, leave them down below in the comments, or join the Discord and let us know in there. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.